Hello, friends. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be looking at how to use getters and setters to control access to an object. And I hope you remember that we are still on our JavaScript ES6 series. And I'm glad to have you here. So, without wasting much time, let's get right into this lesson. So, you can obtain values from an object and set the value of a property within an object. These are classically called getters and setters. Getter functions are meant to simply return or get the value of an object private variable to the user without the user directly accessing the private variable. While setter functions are meant to modify or set the value of an object private variable based on the value passed into the setter function. This change could involve what am I reading today? Could involve calculations or even overwriting the previous value completely. So let's look at what this looks like. So we have our class here called book. We have a constructor. I believe we looked at this in the previous lesson. And if you haven't been following through, I advise you start from lesson one. Okay, so we have our getter here, and this is how it looks like. Get We have the get keyword followed by the name of the function, and notice that both the getter and setter both have the same names. The only differences are the get and set keyword and then the body of the function. The getter method returns a value while the setter method sets a value basically. So here we are creating an object of our book class, and this object is called novel, and we give it the value of anonymous, which is the author, because in our constructor here we have a parameter called author, so we have to pass in the variable. We have to pass in a value for the author. So when you console the log novel dot writer, you get this anonymous, and then novel the writer here is actually the setter. This is how you call this setter. You notice that it's not called in a regular way like a function is called. It almost looks like you're assigning a variable or a value to some variable, but this is how the setter method is called. So the console that will display the strings anonymous. Yeah, then after you set you call the setter and you use it to set your value, set your variable. That's like the author variable. We now have a new value for writer. Hope that makes sense. Notice the syntax used to invoke the getter and setter, right? They do not even look like functions. So this is for the setter and this is for the getter. Yeah, this is the getter actually, novel the writer, and then this is the setter. Sorry if I got that mixed up earlier. Right, so note that it is conventional to precede the name of a private variable with an underscore, okay? However, the practice itself does not make a variable private, all right? So in our exercise, we are asked to use the class keyword to create a thermostat class, and the constructor accepts a Fahrenheit temperature. In the class, we are asked to create a getter to obtain the temperature in Celsius and a setter to set the temperature in Celsius. So we are giving the formulas here. I don't know if anyone remembers this from secondary school days. So this is the formula for converting Fahrenheit to Celsius, and this is the formula for converting Celsius to Fahrenheit, and where F is the value of yeah. So when you implement this, you track the temperature inside the class in one scale, either Fahrenheit or Celsius. Okay, so this is the power of a getter and a setter. You are creating an API for another user who can get the correct results regardless of which one you track. In other words, you are abstracting implementation details from the user. Okay, so let's go ahead and create our class, starting with our class keyword. That's Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit. This is supposed to be N. Then I feel like I've gotten something mixed up. I'm not supposed to have that this bracket. Alright, so then our constructor, which is gonna accept a temperature value. Then here we'll be setting this the temp to temp, and then the next thing is get our to create our setter and getter. So it's you can see below here the setter has already been called here. No, this is the getter, right? And this is the setter. It's basically it's the same syntax, right? Thermos dot temperature, thermos dot temperature, just that you assign for one you give it a value, that's the setter. You assign a value to it, while for the getter you assign it to a value, assign it to a variable. So that's like the difference here. So this is getting, and this is setting. This is getting the temperature while this is setting the temperature. So let me declare our getter here. Temperature, because it's getting, we don't need a parameter, we just need to return what we already have. Then the setter, then here we're gonna pass something here. Okay, let me call it new temp, right? And then I'll be setting this the temp to new temp. Okay, um, it still says, oh my goodness, I can't believe I named this Fahrenheit. I'm supposed to call it thermostat. That's the name of the class. Oh dear. I hope you noticed that. Okay, thermostat. Now it says temperature is not defined. Okay. Return temperature, yeah. What I have here is temp, a temperature. Okay. So I think we have one last thing, but let's run our test to see. So it says that when instantiated with a Fahrenheit value, thermostat should set the correct temperature. Okay, so um on this line of code, it's being given a Fahrenheit scale, but they want us to convert it to a Celsius value. So we're gonna do that in the constructor right here. So let me just go and copy our formula for converting to Celsius, which is this 5 over 9 times F minus 32, and F is the Fahrenheit scale. So, yeah. So let me just go ahead and console.log, because according to the comments here, after converting this, it should give us 24.44. So, let me console, let me log our temp value to see if it gives us the right value. And for some reason it does not. It says it's undefined. Okay, I just noticed something else. So I'm supposed to return this dot temp. It's dot temp. Yeah, that's how to um get the this get this particular value, right? Okay, so now we have 24.444444. So I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and run our tests. And perfect. So it works. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. If you have a question, kindly drop in the comment section, and I'll be very glad to answer you. I'll see you in my next lesson. Bye.